In this St. Matthew training video, we're going to show you how to put a background picture for the bulletin cover. So I've opened up the bulletin for May 14th and 15th. It focuses on Jesus being our Good Shepherd. Now, Pastor had picked out the picture he wanted from the choices I gave him from iStock and Sermon View, and then this is the picture. So there's sheep and the gate. And so what I usually have, this is the original picture downloaded from the website. What I usually have to do then is convert that into a different size, and I do that using PowerPoint. So I open up PowerPoint. In this case, I already had made the program, and you'll see the end result. Now I'm going to start from the beginning with a new presentation. So it's a blank presentation, so the first thing I do is change the background to black, and then go up to layouts, and I change that to be nothing so that it's just plain. Then I take the picture, let's grab the picture here, and I click and hold it, drag it over on top of the PowerPoint window and let go, release, and there it is. And I click on it and I move it over, and usually the pictures don't quite fit the same proportions as what the screens are, so then I make it bigger. And I see that I have a couple of choices there what I could do. I hate leaving black lines on the screen, so I'm going to make it, and really the focus is on the sheep and the gate, so we don't really need this flower bushy thing over here, so I'm going to make it go even bigger. And I always use the corner so that it goes in proportion. Otherwise what will happen if I just use this, it'll stretch it, and then it just irritates me when pictures are out of proportion. So I'm going to use Control or Command Z to put it to undo. Grow the portions. There, now it'll be the full screen, but I've got extra picture over here, so I'm going to crop it. I use this click and hold on the side and drag it in, and I'm going to go farther than what I think. There, and then pull it back out to the edge of the screen. There, now I can hit escape, and the picture's all done. Then what I usually do is duplicate it. So I'm going to duplicate slide 3 times, and I do this for the 3 different settings for the screen. So the first one's always the original, and then the second one I click on the picture, then I go to transparency and I change it to 30, and then hit enter, so it makes it a little bit darker. And then I go to the third one, I click on the picture, and I change the transparency to 60, so that's the darkest. So when we're projecting this on the screen for in worship, then the darkest one is usually what I use for most of the service, and then depending upon the light in the room at the time or the season of the year, I will either use the second version or the original to be the brightest for like the theme slide. We're also going to use the brightest one for the bulletin cover. So I'm going to X out of this. Oh, the other thing that you always do is you do File, Save As, and you have to save it as pictures. I usually choose the PNG format, and then it will save it as pictures. Okay, so we're done in PowerPoint. So we can see here's our slide 1. Which will be the original brightness. So I'm going to click and hold that and drag that on top of the bulletin document that's open. And I usually try to, you see how it's moving the squiggly line to where it's going to drop it, where it's going to anchor that picture. I usually try to put it at the very first part of the first line of the title, and then I'm going to let go. I'm just going to put it in there, but it moves everything around. So you have to change that because you want the words on top of the picture. So I right click the picture and I select wrap and then go to in background. So now it puts the picture in the background and the words are on top. I have to close these windows out. Okay. So then I look on the picture, and depending on sometimes the picture and the way it's designed or the brightness of the picture, it's okay to leave the words at the top. Sometimes I put them on the bottom. And then also, do I want to keep them as white or do I need to change them as black? If there's a really light background, then I have to change them to black. For me, this looks really good. It's kind of unbalanced here, so I'm going to move so that good and shepherd are together on the same line. And he lives to be my good shepherd. So they're both centered. So that looks like the bulletin picture is all set to go. And then I save it. And then I let Sue know that the bulletin picture is in. This concludes the St. Matthew tutorial on putting a picture in for a bulletin cover.